Welcome to the 2021 RIDI Awards. So I'm going to introduce the awards, but first of all, for those of you who are new to us, and I know there are a lot of people new to RIDI this year, which we're very excited about. Recruitment Industry Disability Initiative, I founded either misguidedly or in a visionary way in 2010, 2011, with the help and support from most of the people who are still working with us to this date. The ideal is to make sure that we have a disability confident recruitment industry in the UK, and we then export that best practice globally, making sure that to date, I think we've recorded that over 500,000 disabled job seekers have and continue to have a more positive job seeking experience through this industry of ours here in the UK. So the awards, well, they sprang out of the fact that we just launched this initiative and suddenly started to land on pockets of great practice. We put out lots of education, which continues to be the groundbreaking work that RIDI does, and that education has led to more and more case studies of best practice, new learning, innovative, magnificent things, and small little nuanced touches as well that other people can easily adopt and share to make their recruitment industry disability confident too. So the awards came so that we could share all of that with you, and here we are again sharing it today. And as always, what an amazing year it has been. So I think most of you probably know me. You're probably sick of seeing me on RIDI, but you're going to see a lot more people here today, which is great for you guys. But my name is Kate Headley. I am the founder. I continue to chair the Recruitment Industry Disability Initiative with a phenomenal amount of help, both from the executive committee, who'll be meeting throughout this award ceremony, and of course our amazing gold partners in the form of Lloyds of London, of the Clear Company ourselves, of Guidant Global, of Brookson, who are our newest partner, and they've come to us via Apsco Outsource, who are also partnering with RIDI. And of course, we've got DWF and our amazing Evenbreak partners as well. So thank you to all of them. So we've got a bit of a theme today. It might sound a little bit familiar because we've stolen some of it from other things. But RIDI's theme this year is Recruiting Back Better. 2020 threw out its challenges to all industries, and the recruitment industry was not exempt from that. So this year, the challenges are different. So the recruitment industry has grown really quickly. It seems as if we're going back to business as usual in terms of hiring, but are we doing that brilliantly for our disabled colleagues, or are there some lessons we really have to continue to learn and shine the light on? And that's what this year is all about from the RIDI perspective. And it even has its own award, Recruiting Back Better Award, where you can all learn about the latest best practice in terms of going forward from 2021 into 2022. So I've got a packed ceremony for you today, so I won't take up too much of your time, but I just wanted to celebrate the fact that we are obviously celebrating today on International Day of Disabled People, and we're really proud to be part of that movement and to be celebrating it with you today. Please go off and do lots more things around that. It's why I'm also wearing purple, which isn't a colour I ever wear other than to celebrate Purple Light Up and to show my allegiance with my disabled colleagues around the world. So for today, we've got the awards, which you're going to enjoy, and we're going to meet the judging panel, and we're going to talk about our research. So what's RIDI been up to this year before you kick into the main part of the ceremony, and I hand over to the glorious Jane Hatton. All of last year's winners have generously given their valuable time and to run round tables and to share with you the insights into what they've done and how they achieved that winning entry for RIDI, and what best practice you can then put into your organisations. So that's been absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't seen those, you can download those from the RIDI website or request them of us if you want to see some more. And we'll be doing that again. So watch closely when you see the winners this year. But the other thing we've done is we've launched some research with Brookson, which is one of the reasons they've come on board as a partner. They're generously sponsoring this research for us, and that's all about recruiting back better. What are people doing that's working? What are people doing that's not working? Specifically, obviously, for our disabled job seekers and disabled colleagues within the industry as well. So without further ado, I'd really like to hand over to Jane Hatton, who chairs our judging panel. I'm hoping she's recovered because this year's entries were just so amazing. She's going to talk you through the process that we go through, which is objective. It has an external judging panel to assess those for us, and they've also generously given up their time, and Jane will introduce those. So I'm going to hand over to Jane, and I'll see you again during the ceremony. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Kate. And hello, everyone. I'm Jane Hatton, CEO of Evenbreak. I love RIDI, and I've been involved from the very start. First of all as a guest at the first awards, and then as a finalist, and then as a winner, and then a category sponsor. And then I joined the executive board, and for the last couple of years I've been the chair of the judging panel. And we're doing things a little bit differently this year. As you can see, we're all in Zoom. So make use of the chat to congratulate the winners when you hear about them. I know who they are already, so I'm not going to give you any spoilers. And I'm looking forward to meeting you after the ceremony, where you'll be able to vote for the greatest impact winner. And as Kate's already mentioned, this year again, we reached out to Disabilities Great and Good. I mean, all the names that we know and love in the world of disability and inclusion, and asked them to be judges on our panel. And we were absolutely blown away when everyone said yes. And I'd really like to thank all the judges for their time and their expertise, throughout this process. It was an incredibly difficult process again this year. And, it's just amazing to see the standard of the quality of the entries that we've had again. So you'll be meeting some of the judges a little bit later on when they're going to be presenting the awards to this year's winners. But I just wanted to reflect a little bit on the calibre, really, of the entrants that we had this year. We had more entries from more sectors than ever. And it's really good to see that disability equality is really landing on the whole diversity and inclusion agenda, whereas it was always kind of the lost relation before. And what's great to see is that we're not just talking about now policies and aspirations. We're talking about impact, the real difference that is being made in these amazing organisations, by sometimes making huge changes, sometimes making small tweaks that can make a huge difference in terms of inclusion. And, we know that the recruitment sector, in-house or agency, is really the gateway to having more diverse and inclusive workforces within all of our organisations and the economy generally. So we need diverse organisations that attract and retain the very, very best talent. And of course, the recruitment sector has faced all sorts of challenges in this last year and beyond. The perfect storm of Brexit and the pandemic has created massive skill shortages across all sectors. And it means that recruiters have to be more innovative than ever. And, the old way of working may never return. In fact, in some ways, I hope it never does. And we've acknowledged this with the Recruiting Back Better category, which is a new category for this year. And it's really great to see that recruiters are stepping up to the challenges and pioneering better ways of doing things that are going to really stand us in good stead for the new ways of working in the future that we can all learn from. So we're really delighted again to be joined by Liz Johnson, who's helping us to host these awards this year. So Liz is a former Paralympian medal winner. She was a pundit on this year's Paralympics. It was great to see her on the screen so often. And she's founder of the Ability People. And we're delighted that she's joined us again this year to host these awards. And also, a little bird tells me that it's your birthday today, Liz. So a very happy birthday to you from all of us at RIDI, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Jane. And thank you to RIDI for inviting me back to host these inspiring awards again this year. Before we get into the detail of the awards, the categories, finalists and winners, I'd just like to take a few moments to tell you a bit about my year this year and why the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is so important, apart from, conveniently, also being my birthday. 2021. We all thought that by now we would be back in the swing of some kind of normality. But actually, 2020 proved to be a foundation that we've had to build on for 2021. There's been some great things happening, and for me personally, it was brilliant to see that the Olympics and the Paralympics were able to run. And again, I think that always serves as a reminder of what is possible for people with disabilities. But we can't leave it there. And I think more importantly this year for me was that those Paralympic Games didn't just serve as a reminder of what athletes with a disability can do, but it served as a reminder that it's time to put all of those lessons and experiences that we've had from having to change up the way that we function during 2020 to enable the entire demographic of people with disabilities to be successful in whatever area they choose. I think that's extremely poignant in the world of recruitment and employment, because for so long we've wanted to do the right thing, everybody's been trying, but sometimes we just don't know where to start. But I think now we're all aware, and especially from some of the entrants for this year's awards and just our experiences and understanding that we've been able to develop over the last couple of years, we're all aware of exactly what it means to give people what they need to be successful, and this idea of parity of opportunity. We've all been reminded that now is the time to act and not just talk about what needs to change, but start becoming influencers, allies, and the people that can make that happen. We've seen a different way of working in the workplace, and for some that has meant positives, but for some that has provided a very daunting and challenging time. So now what we need to do is pool together all of our resources, all of our learnings and understandings, and accept that nobody has the answer to everything, but the one thing we are all united on is the fact that we need to make workplaces and recruitment processes authentically inclusive so that we can attract and employ the best talent on offer within the country and of course globally. International Day of Persons with Disabilities is the perfect place to start talking about that. It can't just be one day where we all get excited and we all look at initiatives. It needs to be the point at which we all join together and say, right, now this is the time, from here on in, we're going to action this change. It's okay not to know all the answers, none of us do, but it's not okay to ignore the fact that actually everybody, every individual, whatever their circumstance, deserves the opportunity to be successful. So let's use IDPD to remind ourselves and the nation that now is the time to fight for that equity for all. This year, RIDI's theme is Recruiting Back Better, and that's all about us learning what we need to do to authentically include any talent out there and any talent that might want to enter our process. So let's all commit here today to recruiting back better, not just for IDPD, not just for the RIDI Awards, but forever moving forward. Let's get started with the awards. First up is the Getting Started category. This award recognises an organisation who has just begun their journey to be disability confident. We celebrate the steps taken to engage staff across the business, the changes made to reflect more inclusive practices, and the motivation shown in getting up to speed. An organisation who, although at the start of their journey, shows they are fully committed to inclusivity and are stepping up to the plate to achieve this. To announce the finalists in the Getting Started category, I'd like to welcome Claire Gray from the Shaw Trust.
Okay, and thank you, Liz. It was a real pleasure for me to be asked to be a judge for this category, recognising organisations who have just begun their journey to be disability confident. This award celebrates the steps taken by organisations to engage staff across their business, the changes made to reflect inclusive practices, and the motivation shown in getting up to speed. Organisations shortlisted, although being at the start of their journey, have shown they are fully committed to inclusivity and are really stepping up the plate to achieve this. The finalists in the Getting Started category are Travellers Europe, for their steps to make employment practices both welcoming and inclusive, with a range of training programmes, initiatives and networks to ensure inclusion for new and existing staff. Page Group, for their ambition and work to be an employer of choice for disabled talent. This includes their ability at page strategy, partnerships with charities and the provision of ongoing training, resources and support for all staff. Uniqlo have put in place in proactive recruitment, training and development practices to ensure that their recruitment and grow talented individuals with disabilities into their business. Each store has a disability and inclusion ambassador, and they regularly seek feedback to do more. Mace Group. Since 2020 launch of Enabled at Mace, significant progress has been made in supporting disabled colleagues. This includes educating its recruitment teams, promoting disability awareness, implementing accessible policies and practices, and recruiting disabled candidates. And finally, North Staffordshire Combined Healthcare NHS Trust, for their drive to support people with learning disabilities into NHS employment in new expert by experience advisory roles, securing funding for 4 part-time positions and a dedicated steering group to address challenges in the existing recruitment system. Highly commended goes to Mace Group. And the Getting Started winner is Page Group. Congratulations to Page Group, a truly well-deserved award winner, and everyone else in this category.
Thanks, Claire. Another round of amazing finalists and plenty for us all to learn from. The Making a Difference in the Public Sector Award highlights those who've excelled in levelling the playing field for disabled candidates in the recruitment process, identifying and implementing appropriate reasonable adjustments at every stage and working hard to swiftly remove any barriers. An example of going the extra mile and inclusivity best practice in action. To announce the public sector finalists, we have Chris Rowland from the Cumbria Northumberland Tyne and Weir NHS Foundation Trust.
Thanks, Liz. So this Making a Difference public sector category, really lots of innovative practice within this, lots of really good entries, but there can be one winner. And the Making the Difference in the public sector finalists are North East London NHS Foundation Trust for their commitment to an inclusive culture that creates a better work environment for staff and better outcomes for patients. In particular, their introduction of health passports, a confidential document designed for staff with long-term health conditions, mental health issues, neurodiversity or other learning difficulties. North Staffordshire Combined Healthcare NHS Trust for their work with service user volunteers who advise and consult on key issues to secure views of those with lived experience. This process has been developed to now include paid roles for expert by experience advisor roles. Devon Partnership NHS Trust for their commitment to making notable and meaningful progress to ensure that all staff with disabilities, impairments and long-term conditions have fulfilling, meaningful, valuable and long-standing careers within their trust. Project Search for work to train and support young people with learning difficulties into paid employment at Mid Yorkshire NHS Hospitals Trust. So far there have been 15 successful graduates from the programme and 9 of these are employed in the trust. And the Making a Difference in the public sector winner is North East London NHS Foundation. Many congratulations. Great entry. It's really good to see the impact of the passport there, enabling disabled members of staff to feel really comfortable within the workplace and getting the support that they require from their employer to have a successful, meaningful career where they can be their authentic selves within the workplace. Many congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. And to announce the Making a Difference in the Private Sector category finalists, I'll hand over to Claire Lavery from RNID.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you to RIDI for inviting me along to judge this year's awards. I have to say that I was inspired by all of the entries to this competition, and it has given me hope for the future. At RNID, we want to ensure that deaf people and people with hearing loss and tinnitus are given an equal opportunity to compete in the labour market. Key to that is the attitudes of employers and recruiters. All of the organisations who have entered this competition have demonstrated a commitment to making a real change to their recruitment practices, and their positive attitudes will no doubt reap valuable rewards for their businesses and for their staff. So congratulations to everyone on the work you have done so far. This award highlights those who have excelled in levelling the playing field for disabled candidates in the recruitment process, identifying and implementing appropriate, reasonable adjustments at every stage, and working hard to swiftly remove any barriers. We were looking for examples of organisations going the extra mile and inclusivity best practice in action. This category was open to recruitment agencies and in-house teams across the private sector. And the Making a Difference in the Private Sector finalists are Financial Times Early Careers Programmes, for their bespoke programme designed to suit any ability or disability, actively recruiting for participants via organisations such as Evenbreak, Speakers for Schools, Disability Rights UK, MenCap, Courtyard School, St Vincent's School and Leonard Cheshire. These programmes include workshops, online work experience and internship opportunities. Balfour Beatty Vinci Sistra JV. Having gained Clear Assured Bronze accreditation for equality, diversity and inclusion, BBVS have implemented monitoring of staff experience, the introduction of mental wellbeing initiatives, and worked with schools to provide employment advice and opportunities for neurodivergent people. Utilita, for their work to shift their current recruitment initiatives to prioritise equality, remove barriers, and enable individuals to access reasonable adjustments with ease. Steps taken include improving website accessibility and providing disability and inclusion training and normalising reasonable adjustments. DPD UK, for the work of their DPD Inspire programme, which provides employment for people with SEND. The SEND team has so far supported 8 young people to achieve paid work within DPD. Within the organisation, there is now a clear progression pathway for individuals joining through Inspire. The judges chose to award Highly Commended to DPD UK. Congratulations to them and keep up the good work. And the Making a Difference in the Private Sector winner is Balfour Beatty Vinci Sistra JV. Balfour Beatty's nomination stood out to the judges because of the depth of the commitment they have made to improving inclusivity at all levels of their business and beyond. They have undertaken EDI accreditation, assessed their performance in relation to EDI, and have an improvement plan in place. And they have mandated that their suppliers must also achieve an EDI accreditation, and then they help their suppliers to achieve this, using their influence to create change around them and not only within. They have implemented monitoring and reporting of EDI issues among their employees and have achieved almost 16% disclosure of disability. Often people with hearing loss tell us at RNID that they do not disclose because no one asked. And if no one asks and no one tells, no one can move forward. In terms of physical access to the construction project they're working on currently, they're developing an inclusive design for the building and will train front-facing staff on inclusion once the building opens to the public. And they are working to address mental wellbeing for their staff and are reaching out to young people in local schools to offer employment advice and opportunities for neurodivergent people. So you can see how Balfour Beatty are going the extra mile and embedding inclusion across their business, and they are worthy winners. So congratulations on winning the award for making a difference in the private sector, and the very best of luck on your continuing journey towards inclusion. Thank you.
Thanks, Claire. Next up is the Disability Confident category. This award singles out a business, organisation or agency demonstrating top-level commitment to the Disability Confident scheme and effective implementation of the guidance across the workplace. An avid promoter and expert in how disability confidence can be utilised to recruit and retain great people.
Thanks, Liz. And now to announce the finalists of the Disability Confident category. Firstly, Atkins. Atkins has introduced a new reasonable adjustment process, including support champions and passports to improve their end-to-end recruitment process. On top of this, they delivered training and guidance to hundreds of hiring managers across the various UK businesses. Secondly, Network Rail. Working with disabled colleagues and their disabled employee network, Can Do, Network Rail has developed their Disability Matters strategy. This work has included the publication of guidance for managers to understand what good looks like in terms of supporting employees and making reasonable adjustments, and the launch of a mandatory disability quality training to all 45,000 employees. Next, we have Kent Community NHS Foundation Trust. To maintain their disability confidence status, the Trust worked in partnership with Kent Supported Employment to improve their recruitment and selection process. They also provide flexible interview arrangements, workshops and guidance for managers, and they seek feedback and involvement of disabled staff to implement changes. And finally, we have Sussex Community NHS Foundation Trust. For their work, they go above and beyond to both improve inclusive recruitment practices and enrich the experiences of disabled staff across the Trust teams and services. Initiatives have included collaboration with local councils to provide supported employment, offering flexible working, making practical workplace adjustments, and the introduction of a regularly reviewed health and wellbeing passport for all staff. And the Disability Confident winner is Network Rail. I'm so delighted that the fantastic work that Network Rail has delivered has been recognised and that they've received the Disability Confident RIDI Award today. Many congratulations to Network Rail and to all the staff involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and next up is the Disability Specialist category. This award recognises a key player in the wider recruitment industry, someone who embodies the model of best practice in providing inclusive recruitment and employment services, be that workplace schemes, a supported employment programme, or a unique partnership. A committed, knowledgeable force that has the one-up in their field. To announce the finalists, we have Adam Hyland from Diversity and Ability, the 2020 Disability Specialist winner.
Thank you, Liz. It's been a real honour to be part of the judging panel for the Disability Specialist category. I have to say it was tough, as there are so many amazing nominations this year. So, the 2021 Disability Specialist contests are Patchwork Hub. Patchwork Hub is a disabled-led recruitment agency and social enterprise working to close the disability employment gap and change the narrative around work, health and disability. Patchwork Hub helps progressive employers to connect with job seekers looking for accessible work opportunities and help those employers to improve their practices around accessibility and disability in recruitment. Sea Talent. Sea Talent is an award-winning agency which represents high-profile deaf and disabled artists, athletes and influencers. Sea Talent also provides access, disability and inclusion consultancy for entertainment industry and Fortune 500 companies. The consultancy team is made up of specialists in access, disability and the industry, bringing lived experience to the table. Pembrokeshire supported employment team. Pembrokeshire County Council supported employment team supports the employment of over 65 people in its supported employment programme and over 100 hours for work experience, training and disability recruitment support. The same charity since foundation in 2016. Some have taught self-employment skills to over 250 disabled people across Georgia to gain work independence through supported self-employment startups by helping people explore non-traditional employment options, teaching self-employment skills and transferable job skills. Some are working to narrow the disability employment gap. And the Disability Specialist winner 2021 is Sea Talent. Well done, amazing work.
Thank you, Adam. Next up is the Recruiting Back Better category. This is a new category for 2021, recognising the changes required in recruitment practices during the pandemic, identifying what practices have worked and what can be taken forward in a sustainable way. And to announce the finalists, I'm going to hand over to Paul Lloyd from the category sponsor, Brookson.
Panel and all entrants have made huge efforts and the finalists have shown true commitment to continuous improvements and sustainability. I'm delighted to announce the Recruiting Back Better finalists are Guiding Global for their work to educate others on the need to build a better, more inclusive normal through partnerships with organisations such as WizKids, Sure Trust and the Superhero series. Guiding Global's clients have recruited more disabled people into their businesses this year, highlighting the importance of accessibility awareness and how to provide truly accessible online recruitment. Bart's Ability. Bart's Health NHS Trust. Bart's Ability have a highly successful We Belong strategy, which empowers a truly inclusive workplace driving towards a level playing field, which recognises all disabilities, hidden disabilities and long-term health conditions. And My Interview creates a hiring process where every candidate can be seen for who they are, not what they can or cannot do due to disability. Particular note of their recent work with HS2 to provide accessible graduate and apprenticeship schemes, and during the COVID-19 pandemic, working to ensure a fair hiring process when hiring from home. Newcastle upon Tyne Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust, for their continued commitment to creating a representative working environment which enables all staff to liberate their potential. The Trust has shown commitment to key goals of ensuring a workplace in which people feel valued, represented and included. Highly commended award goes to Newcastle upon Tyne Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust. And the Recruiting Better winner is Guidant Global. Huge congratulations to Guidant Global on their work and commitment to accessibility awareness both within their own company and within their clients. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul, and congratulations to Newcastle upon Tyne Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust and Guidant Global. Next up is the Most Inclusive Recruitment Campaign category. This award recognises a unique campaign which has been carefully and cleverly implemented to attract a diverse range of talent. We look at the thinking behind how roles are advertised across channels, as well as factors such as language, imagery, access, and bias. A campaign which is not only open and inclusive for disabled people, but goes the extra mile to ensure they have been consulted and supported at every step. To announce the finalists in this category, I'm going to hand over to Jackie Gavin from British Volt.
Thanks, Liz. This category is one of those categories that I, for one, always find exceptionally difficult to score, especially when you hear and read the influential ways in which every one of you has made such a difference in making this category both a joy and a challenge to judge. Each and every one of you should be immensely proud of the efforts you have made in what has been and is potentially one of the most challenging times in our lifetimes. Thank you for giving me that challenge. And the Most Inclusive Recruitment Campaign finalists are Millwood Servicing for their work through both the Zero to Hero Apprentice Programme and that of the Woodmore Foundation, reaching out to marginalised sectors of society to recruit, train and mentor individuals to gain employment inside and outside of Millwood Servicing. NHS Business Service Authority. NHS Business Service Authority has received government recognition for its inclusive approach in recruiting and retaining staff with a disability or certain health conditions. It also worked with disabled people users, led organisations to provide work experience, placements and pathways to employment. ICOM CBS. Their work in recruitment and training and apprenticeships to improve their entry-level talent offering with a view to creating opportunities specifically to support individuals from low socioeconomic backgrounds and those with a disability into a career within media. Ovia Thameslink Railway. ETR is working partnership with Certitude to support members of their engineering apprenticeship cohort who may have learning disabilities, autism, or have mental health needs. This work involves steps such as reviewing online recruitment content and processes and making sure the GTR's career site is fit for purpose within these populations. Highly commended award goes to Millwood Servicing. And the Most Inclusive Recruitment Campaign winner is Viacom CBS. Congratulations on your well-deserved success, which for me was and demonstrates by the willingness to look at this from both a disability perspective and from a low socioeconomic background, and gives me and people like me a renewed sense of purpose. A huge well done to you all.
Thanks, Jackie, and congratulations to Viacom CBS. Next up, we have the Inclusive Recruiter of the Year category. This award celebrates an exemplary person or team going above and beyond to ensure inclusivity in the recruitment process. Here are the finalists.
Thank you, Liz. Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Dada. I am the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Senior Manager at HS2 for the Workforce. And I had the pleasure to nominate the winners of last year's category, HS2's recruitment team. Now, I identify as a disabled person and as per the social model of disability, and I was absolutely delighted to be part of the judging panel of the RIDI Awards. Thank you so much for having me. So, the finalists for Inclusive Recruiter of the Year category are the North Staffordshire Combined Healthcare NHS Trust for their work to review and revise the recruitment process for people with disabilities, accessible application forms and job description to advise, posts were advertised to encourage applicants, ensuring a wide and inclusive reach, and the interview process was adapted to be supportive yet equitable to comparable posts. The next finalist is Page Group for their numerous initiatives such as partnership with Evenbreak and Backup to host webinars, CV and interviewing skills, workshops and fundraising work. Also for their commitment to day one workplace adjustments for employees, staff networks, and well-being training and support. The third finalist is TPP Recruitment for their work including disability, autism and transgender awareness training and monthly sharing learning sessions. In addition, TPP have published and shared an inclusive recruitment guide and provided a TPP Altogether Better Inclusive Recruitment Grant to help improve inclusive recruitment. And then finally, the Civil Service Fast Stream and Emerging Talent Team, having created an environment and culture for post holders with disabilities to flourish. The team have worked on attracting a wider range of candidates, diversity and inclusion interventions, improving the assessment process, talent development and alumni support. So, the winner for Inclusive Recruiter of the Year is the Civil Service Fast Stream and Emerging Talent Team. Well done! A well-deserved win for this team. They have delivered exceptional performance. They are without doubt outstanding, and I am hoping that this award will encourage you to keep doing this fantastic work and sharing it with other organizations so that more and more talented disabled job seekers can access the workplace fully, like everyone else. Well done and congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the 2021 RIDI Award winners and highly commended. Once again, I've been so impressed with all the finalists and the efforts they are making to ensure that their recruitment processes can become more inclusive. It's always great to hear about these awards, the steps that are being taken and the initiatives that are being put in place for organisations to make their environments and their workplaces and their recruitment processes more inclusive. But let's not stop there. Let's use the inspirational stories of today to get us moving, to get us looking forward to see what else that we can do so that we can create an environment where all talent experiences inclusivity in the recruitment process and once they are placed into work. That's the world that we're looking for. That's what 2020 taught us. That's what we have learned from 2021. When we recruit back better, we truly can have the best candidates, the best talent, and the best workforce to move forward and make our organisations stronger. So let's not just do what is necessary, but let's do what is right so that everybody can have the same experience of looking for work and sourcing talent. I've had a great time hosting the virtual RIDI Awards 2021. My job is nearly done, so I'll hand over to Kate Headley from the Clear Company for closing. Thank you once again for joining. Thank you once again for having me, and hopefully we'll see you all next year. Over to you, Kate.
And wow, as always, completely speechless after just such an amazing ceremony and such incredible examples of the work that people are doing, from really large scale programs and again down to those small interventions that make the difference, those personal stories that people have so generously shared. And just seeing how proud people are to achieve a RIDI Award means everything to us on the exec committee and to all of our partners and the judging panel. Thank you so much for all the amazing work you all do, whether you're here observing it and then going to share it, whether you're an entry that didn't quite make it this year, whether you're one of our finalists, whether you're one of our winners. And of course, thank you to our judges, thank you to our exec partners, thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to specifically, of course, the amazing Liz Johnson for her tremendous hosting. As always, took us through it faultlessly with that little bit of joy all the way through that kept us going with you, Liz. Thank you again. And to Jane Hatton, we cannot do RIDI without you, Jane. I need you to know that. And we're so proud that Evenbreak are a gold partner. And if you're not working with Evenbreak now, guys, you need to seriously make that one of your first actions following these award ceremonies today. So I do hope you're going to join us now to do a little bit more celebrating. We're going to do some networking. We're going to be choosing our Greatest Impact Award, which you can obviously have a voice in if you stay with us now over the next 30 minutes or so. So thanks again to everybody. And as always, our wonderful partners at Attendable. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to see you in the breakout rooms.